You wanted the best and you got it. The hottest band in the land. Cheers!
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tikiyaki TV. I'm your host, Jim Baki from the Tikiyaki Orchestra. And today we're going to do something a little different, break out of the normal exotica and, cool lounge records we talk about because today is a special day. Today, September 10th, 1975, 50 years ago, this album, Kiss Alive, was released. 50 years old today. I want to do a little short special show about this because this record is obviously super near and dear to me. Obviously, I didn't, start my musical aspirations playing exotica music or anything like that. I got into rock and roll, and when you're 12, 13 years old in 1975, 76, you get into rock and roll. This is the album you probably got. I know a lot of you people can relate to this. Kiss Alive, released 1975 on this day, September 10th. What can I say about this record? Produced and engineered by Eddie Kramer and mixed at Electric Lady Studios. Very cool. Obviously, lots of different stories about how actually live it is. I'm going to go with some of it's probably live and some overdubs. But be that as it may, it is such a great record. And it was the one that really kind of got me into playing guitar, I think. This and Frampton Comes Alive. The song list is like, if you're a Kiss fan, you know every one of them. Deuce, Strutter, Got to Choose, Hotter Than Hell, that's side one. Side two, Nothing to Lose, Come On and Love Me, Parasite, and She, with Ace Frehley's awesome guitar solo on that. Side three, Watching You, 100,000 Years, of course, with the famous Peter Criss drum solo. And Black Diamond, and side three with all the explosions. That's usually the finale of the show, all the pyro going off. And side four, we have Rock Bottom, Cold Gin, Rock and Roll All Night, the big hit, of course, and Let Me Go Rock and Roll. That's your running order here. So cool when when you're a kid and you open this up and there's the letters from each band member that now, okay, some publicists wrote this because they're amazing creative writing. And of course, that's all their signatures, and those look like they're legit signatures. If you've ever seen any of the autographs of them from other things, but so great. They put of course, this making sure to buy the other records because these three records were not selling very well, and Kiss was about to probably get dropped from Casablanca. But Neil Bogart, president of Casablanca, thought it would be really good to release a live album because their live shows were obviously so notorious and so amazing, and that's what people came to see, and they wanted to capture that energy, and man, did they. Like I said, I don't know how much was overdubbed, but I'm sure at least parts of it were live. This picture appears to be in... it looks like the LA Forum to me, but this record was recorded in 4 different places. And I have that here. Between May and July 1975, Detroit, Michigan, Cobo Hall, definitely. Cleveland, Ohio, Wildwood, New Jersey, and Davenport, Iowa. These are the 4 shows that they recorded this album at. And they put the various versions together. Another great thing, and this is something I learned early on that I employ with Tikiyaki, is the merchandise. So this amazing booklet comes in the record, as you know. And, kids used to tear these out and put them on their wall. I mean, look at that. When you're 13 years old, this was 12 when I came out. So I was 12 when this came out. And I did not buy this record immediately. I had not bought this record till a year later, having a conversation with a friend of mine, my friend Brian. We were talking about music, and I told him that I really liked Chicago. And he was like, Chicago? He goes, man, you got to get it to Kiss. I go, what, the guys with the makeup? He's like, the albums are good. I'm like, okay. A few months later, I'm in my living room. I turn the radio on. My parents antique green console stereo that I've talked about in other videos. And the live version of Rock and Roll All Night comes on the radio, and I perked up and listened to it, and I was like, this is badass. I have to get this record. So this was a couple months before Christmas. I asked for this album for Christmas, 1976, and my parents, not knowing the difference, they bought me Kiss Originals, which was a big package of these 3 records with stickers and all this cool stuff. At first, when I opened it for Christmas, I thought, oh, this isn't the right album, but I was super happy anyway. I'm glad they bought me a Kiss record, and I got those records, and I'm glad I got that Kiss Originals package because it had all this cool stuff in it. You got all 3 records, and then I eventually went and bought this and Destroyer and everything else that came out afterwards. Last year or a few years ago, I went looking for a clean, fully packaged version of Kiss Originals. I think I paid like $120 for it. It's like it had all the albums in it, the sticker, the Kiss Army sticker, and the baseball cards that came in there, and it had a cool booklet in it. So yeah, I ended up having to spend a lot of money to get that record, but I did get it. But this album, Kiss Alive, so many times just sitting in my room with my little Spencer Gifts like disco light, in the dark, with the headphones on, listening to this record, pretending I was there. It wasn't until February 77 that I actually got to see them for the first time live. And I was, I was like, and that was the moment I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. I want to play music for a living. So this record is super important to me and about a gazillion other kids at that time. And most of the guys who became stars of 80s metal, famous rock stars of the 80s, all grew up listening to Kiss. They influenced so many bands just to play music, and with the merchandising and the show, they were so groundbreaking for a lot of reasons. But the show aside, this album is chock full of amazing songs, and it's a great record, and it deserves to be celebrated today. 50 years, Kiss Alive. Happy birthday, Kiss Alive. I think I'm going to turn this up and blast a little bit of it today. And that's it, man. I just want to do a special birthday shout out for Kiss Alive. 50 years ago today, released September 10th. And if you guys like this content and other stuff like that, like and subscribe, of course. I know we always have to say that so we get more people on the channel watching the videos. I'm going to do more of videos about rock records that I love, that were influential to me, because like I said, I didn't just start my musical career playing exotica music. It was a long evolution of learning lots of different musical styles into playing exotica. But I've been in many rock bands, and obviously Kiss and lots of others were influences. So I am going to talk about those records. But thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or have a subject you want talked about on the channel, just send me an email at tikiyakitv@gmail.com. And I'll go about answering those, and if I can. And you guys have a great day. Crank up Kiss Alive. We'll see you next time.